This video is just going to walk us quickly through some ideal gas law calculations. So when we use the term ideal gas, we're not talking about some special magical substance. We are just saying that they're more like ideal conditions. So in order for us to perform calculations, gas law calculations, we kind of have to make a few assumptions. And that just means that these gases are functioning at these ideal conditions where the particles don't really interact with each other at all. We know that in real life, there's probably a few interactions. They're randomly moving around, and so sometimes they might get close enough to each other to have some of those attractions kind of hold them together for just a second, but then they probably do spread back apart. But we're just talking about, when we say ideal gas, we just mean ideal conditions, okay? So we're going to look at some calculations that are on your paper, so you'll be able to just write them down, follow along as you watch the video. So we have a formula, and this is the ideal gas law formula. It has pressure, volume, temperature, just like our other gas law formulas, but it has moles, which is the amount of substance. So anytime you see pressure, temperature, volume, and then you also see moles, that should clue you in that this is the ideal gas law formula, not one of those other ones that we've talked about before. So let's look at this question number 1 together. We're just going to first look at all of my numbers. So it tells me that I have a volume of 10, I have a pressure of 2, and I have a temperature of 298. Remember, R is always given to you. R is always 0.0821. There are some units behind that. I think it's like liters times moles over something else. I can't remember off the top of my head, but that does not mean you're plugging numbers in. That's just a unit. It's just a very fancy, complex, big unit because it's a constant. This is a number that somebody else a long time ago figured out for us. So anytime we do these calculations, we're always going to include that number as R. And then it tells me that it wants me to find the number of moles. So N is going to be my X value. So if I have my formula, now I'm ready to start plugging in numbers. I know the pressure is 2, the volume is 10, X is N, then I have 0.0821, and then I have my temperature is 298. Again, temperature always has to be in Kelvin anytime we're talking about gases. So remember, the way that we get Kelvin is we take the Celsius, and we add 273.15. That will give us our Kelvin temperature. This temperature is already in Kelvin, so we do not have to do anything. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is go through and multiply, right, all my numbers that are next to each other. So this becomes 20 equals X times, and I have to take my calculator, it's 0.0821 times 298, and that gives me 24.4658. Okay, if you're rounding, that's fine. Remember, if you ask me what to round to, I'm just going to tell you to use significant figures. So if you just want to write out some decimals, that's fine too. Okay, so now I'm going to divide, right, by 20. Actually, no, my bad. That's what you're not going to do. We have to divide by what is going to get the X by itself. So those cancel out. I'm left with X equals 20 divided by 24, and I get 0.817. Okay, and this is moles, so I'm going to put a unit moles. Okay, for the rest of these, you're going to set them up exactly the same. Okay, and number 2, it's just asking you to find volume. So I'm going to go through, right? Volume is going to be the X, but now I'm going to go through and write out all of my other variables. Remember, R is always 0.0821. And then I'm going to plug it into my formula. So they're all the same. The only thing I'm going to point out is that this is a Celsius temperature. So don't forget you need to convert that to Kelvin. Okay. And then number 4, I think there's another Celsius. Actually, this question is the same as number 3. So we're just going to cross through that one. Just a little typo. So number 4, the only thing that's a little bit different is it's asking you to find grams. Well, there isn't grams in my formula, but it does have moles. So by the time I plug everything in, if I just want to calculate the moles, right, then we know how to convert moles to grams. Okay, that's going to be the orange sheet, right, using our molar mass. Do your best. Watch this video. You can go back and pause it if you need to go back and look at anything. And then do your best to do these calculations. Remember, you're going to skip number 5.